All right, what's going on, guys? This is your Kayak Adventure Series Ozarkana out of Poplar, Bluff, Missouri. Eligible water video. So we will see here as we zoom in. And again, these videos are kind of meant to be short and sweet to show you the main core bodies of water that are in bounds. There's obviously tons of rivers and creeks that are flowing into these core bodies of water that are also eligible. But read our entire rules to understand the rules on those tributaries. Basically, if they're free flowing, you're good to go. And if there's a spillway dam, you're good to go, unless we mark it off limits. But if it's a different type of dam where water flows underneath it, then that's where you cannot go any further. If it's a man-made dam like that, you cannot go any further. But watch those videos, read the rules, and it'll help you understand it even more. And in general, we will put, if it's a spillway type dam, the ones of ours that we are saying are always in bounds up and below, right, above and below. If there's one of those that for some reason we want to be out of bounds, you would see a boundary marker there, an obvious line that says not in bounds. So in general, we will always have an upstream and downstream launch boundary on each body of water, each river. So as we work our way about an hour away from Poplar Bluff, Missouri, you'll notice the furthest away on the western side is the Current River. So we'll start there, and we'll move to the downstream, southern downstream launch boundary on the Current River. Right here, and that is going to be Johnston Eddy Road, as you can see. That is your boundary. Now you can, of course, go downstream. You can fish your way downstream and get in any oxbows that are still connected. That's all eligible. But and you can even take out downstream as long as it's a public access point. You can still go downstream to take out. As you work your way up, you'll notice the topography. This is like Mississippi floodplain. Then it kind of gets where it's a little Piedmont-ish, and then it gets into like the Ozark Mountains. So the water changes, the clarity changes. It's a real interesting part of the country, and the fisheries just change. You go all the way above the town of Van Buren. You can go all the way to the Current River's northern launch boundary, which is Highway 106, and that is at the Powder Mill Spring area, the Powder Mill Trailhead and Campground. And that is your northern launch boundary on the Current River. So you can tell it's much more Ozarky River looking way up here. As we move our way to the next river to the east, it's going to be the Black River. And this is your southern launch boundary on the Black River here, off of Clay County Road 113. So this is your launch for the southern boundary. You can see the water's a little bit murky on the southern end, and it just changes the fishery. I cannot wait to see what ends up, taking the W. Is it going to be some water in the floodplain? Maybe a little bit warmer climate, some murkier water, bigger largemouth maybe, who knows? The spotted bass will play. I know they get big as well. But as you work your way up in this river, you see it flows right through our host city of Poplar Bluff and goes right all the way. Now it's up into the mountains again, so it's starting to get into the Ozarks. All the way up to Clearwater Lake, where you'll see it hits this dam here where they make Clearwater Lake, which is another lake that's in bounds here for this event. So Clearwater's a smaller lake, but it's got a lot of potential as well. Heard of some good things from Clearwater Lake. You'll notice above Clearwater Lake, we've got the river still free flowing into it, but you'll notice there's not a boundary upstream. And if there's not a boundary, we're just not going to put a boundary when there's just no point. It's at some point in this area, it peters out to where it's so small it becomes irrelevant for fishing. But we want to let you guys make that decision. Maybe you're micro bagging, right? You want to go up here and catch your 5 smallest fish to where it's teeny. You want to go this far away, well, that's fine. I mean, it's just real small here. I don't know what lives there, but you guys can find out. You're eligible to go as far as you want up that river above Clearwater Lake, and of course all the way downstream to that downstream launch boundary. The next river over to the east here is the St. Francis River. This is your downstream launch boundary for the St. Francis. Right here so you can find the name of this road, 228. There's a clear boat ramp right here at 228, County Road 228. That's your downstream launch boundary there. And you can follow that river all the way upstream. And yes, this is lower St. Francis River, all in the floodplain here. And you will notice eventually you get to Lake Wapapello, one of our main lakes that's in bounds for this event. I know you do some research, you'll see some pretty big bags. Bass boat tournaments have come out of Lake Wapapello, so they're in there. And it's a very good sized lake. It's over 10,000 acres. Can't remember if it's 12 or 13,000, but it's a very Big lake, lots of water, and lots of good fishing. So we will see what comes out of there. And of course, as you go upstream, it turns into free flowing at some point right around this bridge here. Turns into the river again, St. Francis River, and upstream. We're calling this section the Upper St. Francis River as you move your way upstream. And again, you'll notice no launch boundary. So go as far as you want. But, that's just on you. If you want to go way up there, go for it. And then the next body of water is the Mingo Creek and Wildlife Refuge. Anything in this wildlife refuge that's in bounds is eligible. Is eligible, guys. This creek that's kind of been cut off because it was diverted for a canal. It's basically a flat water now. It's like a lake. It doesn't really have a lot of flow to it. Any of this water here that fills up, anything in here, it's all eligible if it's in that wilderness area, right? The refuge, including Duck Creek Conservation Area, which has cypress trees. If you look up pictures of it, lily pads, a lot of vegetation. It feels definitely not like a typical Missouri type fishery, but it's another lake, flat water section. Again, these are all places you guys can go explore and figure out if they're good or not. We don't know, but I know one thing, it's going to be a lot of fun for you guys to figure it out. This is your adventure course. This is your course that we're making for you. And if it's water that's public and it's, close to Poplar Bluff and it's, river, creek, lake, we want to give you guys a chance to explore it, give you the opportunity. The next one, as you go further over, is the Castor River. This is the downstream boundary. It kind of becomes channelized and just becomes kind of dumpy. So generally, we don't like to put boundaries further away than an hour. But in this situation, once it becomes channelized, it gets a little bit confusing with farmers' land and things like that. And it's not good. Let's just be honest. So we didn't want you guys to go anywhere below that. But upstream of it all, when it's got more in the natural banks with trees and stuff, you guys can learn more about that, explore it, and see if it's any good. The Castor River, right here, it's another part of this thing. It's a little bit interesting because when you go further up on the Castor, you'll notice at some point it does become, I don't know where it is. I wish I could find it right here. It does become cut off because they created a channel, right? So, I want to find it for you guys in this video. If I don't, that's okay, but I think it's up here. Here it is. They cut it off here. So it's no longer connected. They actually cut off the natural flow, which should have been going down here. And it's turned into Hubble Creek, which is why on the map here, you'll notice Hubble Creek is what we're calling this, the Hubble Creek / Castor River. Because as you go further upstream on Hubble Creek / Castor River, you'll notice there's campgrounds and all kinds of things way up here they call it Castor River again. So anyway, it's Hubble Creek in one section, Castor River in the other. You guys can go explore it, but the bottom line is the downstream boundary for that Hubble Creek is right here at 238. So County Road 238. And you can go all the way upstream as far as you want until it peters out. So go explore it. Go have fun. It's going to be a battle between largemouth, spotted bass, and smallmouth. And this one, and the biggest interesting battle of this whole event, guys, comes down to floodplain versus Ozarks, lakes and rivers. It's just going to be, where is it going to be won? Whoever figures that puzzle out is going to take home the title. So can't wait to see you guys in Poplar Bluff, Missouri.